with the, you kind of told us a little bit about your background, a little bit about your story. And this is one of the questions that I usually always ask everybody because everybody's answer is uniquely different, but
Right.
the time frame is relatively the same. So we always hear about the 20 years it takes someone to become an overnight success, and is always perceived to be something that just happened like
Right.
yesterday. How long did it take you to get to where you are currently?
Um, I would say, maybe about, let me think about this. I'd say maybe about 10 years. I think you can flatten that, right? I don't think it takes 20 years. So here's the thing. So this is another thing I'm always thinking about. So as time goes on and as other people have done what it is that you're trying to do, doesn't necessarily be the same thing, have to be the same thing. Because I don't think there's no one actually in this space that I looked at and I said, okay, they're great at Kindle publishing. Let me model them, right? When I was doing this, it was all through trial and error, figuring it out.
Mm.
But I think that because there's other examples of what can be done, we can get there faster as the time goes by. So now the next person that comes after me, they can get there faster if they kind of look at some of the things that I did and incorporate the things that I do the right way and not use the things that I screwed up at and that I messed up at, right? So I always, going back to the music industry, right? So, and I don't know what your audience is like, but hopefully some of these people they know. But if I'm looking at someone like a Russell Simmons, right, who built out Def Jam Records, right? So built up this conglomerate, and then after that, he had like Fat Farm Clothing, and then his wife Kamara had Baby Fat and everything else. But then you take two young guys, one from Brooklyn, one from Harlem, Jay-Z and Dame Dash, right? And they now want to build out their record company, Rockefeller Records.
Mhm.
They have the Russell Simmons model to look at and say, let's see what Russ did and how can we improve that so that now we can get to where we want to be faster. And they were able to build out Rockefeller Records much faster to the point where they had Rockaway clothing, right? They had films that were in place. They had liquor and everything else. So do you see how that works? Like you have this blueprint, you follow that blueprint, and then you tweak it and you add on to it, and you're able to, the person, it took Russell Simmons, let's say it took him, 10 years to get where he was at. But now you've got these other guys who are now modeling this, and instead of having to figure it out piece by piece as Russell Simmons did, you now have this blueprint, and you can probably get there in 5 years or so.